Hi YouTube, my name's Jeff, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Pioneer SPH DA120. I fitted one in my Land Cruiser about 9 months ago now, and I've been using it daily, and I thought it was about time I did a review on it. Now this is going to be a completely independent review, and what I mean by that is I don't work for a big glossy magazine. I had to pay for my unit like you'll have to pay for yours. Nothing's been given to me, so what I say is based on my honest findings and not on what someone might be wanting me to say. Not that anybody would do that, of course. We're sure they're all very honest, all these reviews. But like I say, you can be sure that my review is as honest as it can be. So let's get on with it. So to begin with, let's talk about the unit as a whole. Am I pleased that I bought the Pioneer unit? And yes, I am. I'm certainly glad that I've got it. Would I recommend it to anybody? Yes, I would. Do I think it's the best thing in the world? No, I really don't. I don't believe it's the best unit out there. And if it is the best unit out there, then there must be some really crap units out there, to be honest with you. It's okay. It is. It serves its purpose. It doesn't serve its purpose perfectly well, as you'll discover as we go through it. It has got a few frustrating features. Sometimes it will just completely ignore you. You'll jump in the car, drive off down the road, and you'll talk to it, and it will not answer you at all. It'll beep at you, but it won't take any notice, and no matter what you do, it will not respond to you at all. Nothing to do with your phone signal, nothing to do with the USB connection. It just doesn't work. I've done it before now, and the only cure I ever found in those circumstances is to turn the engine off and turn the engine back on, just to kill the whole unit, and only then would it come on. And that does happen a surprising amount. In any 1 month, I can honestly say that it must happen 3 or 4 times. So that's quite a lot really when you think of it. And I'm not using the Pioneer intensely. It's quite rare actually when I go out that I do switch and use the hands-free unit. So if I'm noticing it 3 or 4 times a month, I think it must be happening a lot more regularly than that. Perhaps it's something to do with the software, perhaps it's something to do with the Pioneer unit, I don't know. But that is something to bear in mind. It's not perfect. But let's look at things in a bit more detail. First thing I'm going to talk about with this unit is the reversing camera. Now, one of the reasons I actually wanted this particular unit is because I wanted a reversing camera. I know it sounds a bit corny, a lot of people have already got them. Now, I've got a camera fitted to my vehicle and I wanted to make use of it with a nice screen. So this unit, it comes along with a plug-in facility. Plug in the camera and it will work. Brilliant. And it does work. It really does work. The problem is when you first start the vehicle up, it takes about 30 seconds for the camera to come on. It really does. So every morning I get into my vehicle, I put my belt on, I start the engine, I go to reverse off my drive, can't see a damn thing, screen's completely blank and stays that way for about 30-40 seconds. And invariably I'm driving down the street long before the screen comes on. Now whether this is an Apple thing or whether this is the Pioneer unit, I don't know, but it's very slow. Once the unit's on, once it's warmed up and everything's working, it's fine, it's immediately responsive. Put it in reverse, the screen flicks onto the camera, everything's brilliant. But it's that initial delay that annoys me so much because it just makes it completely pointless. And I know 30 seconds doesn't sound much, but you'd be amazed how long that is when you're sitting on your driveway waiting to pull into traffic. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a score of 6 out of 10. Right, my next subject, I'm going to be talking about the hands-free aspect of this unit, which is of course one of the main reasons why we have this. It connects up to our iPhones, which is brilliant. So we want it to make calls, we want it to receive calls, we want to send texts and whatever. So let's deal with calls. Now for receiving calls, I have given this 10 out of 10. I can't fault it that way. When you're driving along, a call drops in, it flashes up on the screen and you just tap the screen and you're receiving the call and you're talking away. You've got a microphone, you're talking through the microphone which is connected up somewhere in your vehicle, sensibly close to your mouth, and you're in complete control of the vehicle. It's no problem. Wonderful setup, no problem at all there. 10 out of 10 for the hands-free in receiving calls. When it comes to the hands-free for making calls, that's a little bit different. I have found it a little awkward. I've given it 8 out of 10 for that. Now why? Because it doesn't always respond. A lot of the times you'll press the button and nothing will happen. A lot of the times you'll talk to it and nothing will happen. A lot of the times you'll say, hey, call Fred, and it'll say, okay, calling Fred, and nothing will happen. Now it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens a significant amount of time, enough to annoy me. So I've given it 8 out of 10 for making calls. So whilst we're on the subject of hands-free, let's talk about texting, sending SMS messages. Now then, for sending messages, I've scored this 7 out of 10. I don't think it's very good at all when it comes to sending messages. For me, it doesn't take a lot of notice of what I'm saying. Sometimes I have to go through it several times to get the message correct. It seems to put things in the sentence that I never came up with. It seems to have a hard time locating the people who are there in my directory, nice simple names, but it struggles, and for that reason I can only score it 7 out of 10. It's okay, but it's very, very basic, and a lot of the times the message just get confused. So 7 out of 10, sorry, I can't give it any more than that. But for receiving texts, for receiving those SMS messages, again, I can't fault it. Again, I've got to give it 10 out of 10. For receiving them, it's absolutely fine, and to reply to them, okay, that's all. That's something you do hands-free completely, or you can just tap the screen and say reply. But again, don't be at all surprised if your message back is a bit garbled, because a lot of the time it just doesn't want to know what you're saying. It doesn't understand you. Perhaps it's just me, but I can't seem to get a decent message across. Anyway, so let's talk about it as a sat-nav unit, as a GPS unit. How good is it at navigating us, getting us from place to place? Well, I've had to score it very harshly, I'm afraid, here. I've given it 5 out of 10. Now, why have I given it only 5? It's better than not having a sat-nav or GPS unit at all. It's better than not having one. And if you program in where you want to go before you leave, it's pretty good. It will get you there. It's fine. It will give you a good general direction. However, if you get a little bit of roadworks, if something's happening on the way that you need to divert, you're lost. You're completely lost. If you take a wrong turning, you've had it. It will not find its way back to your route. One journey not that long ago, I accidentally took a wrong turning, and it took 20 minutes to decide to get back to the original route. I couldn't turn round. I was stuck in a one-way system, and it took it 20 minutes before it decided to catch up with me and tell me the right way back. Of course, by then I'd already figured out the correct route myself. So did it ever really fix it? I don't think so. Another occasion, there were roadworks up ahead, and I knew I was going to be waiting a couple of hours, so I turned the car around and headed in the opposite direction and waited for it to work out an alternative route. Now, I've had TomToms in the past, and they've always been brilliant. Give them 10-20 seconds and they've calculated an alternative route for you. This, it never did. It never did it at all. And to be honest, the area that I then went into, it was pretty poor connection on my phone. I had very, very poor signal, and it just didn't want to know. And in the end, I ended up pulling over, going through my glove box, and I pulled out an old TomTom unit, and I mean an old TomTom unit. It must be 4 or 5 years old, that TomTom unit. Plugged it in, worked first time. Within 30 seconds, it had worked out where I needed to go. So as a GPS unit, no, it's just no good at all. It's better than not having one, as I say, but not much. It's no replacement at all for the good old TomToms, the Garmin, the other units that are out there. No, it just doesn't match up. And I'm surprised at Apple for that. I would have thought they'd have got that right. So now let's talk about audio. Now, audio is going to be a very difficult one for me to judge, because I'm running on the standard factory setup in my vehicle. I'm not that bothered really about having fancy speakers and fancy amps and what have you. So all I can say is it's as good as, if not better than, the original CD player that was in the vehicle. Now, the one problem, of course, is this particular unit doesn't have a CD player at all, so I have lost that facility in fitting it, but it will connect up to my iPhone and it will play MP3 files, and it does a very good job of that. I don't have any problems. So again, hands-free, I can most of the time get it to play the songs that I actually want it to play, and that's pretty good. My one gripe about it actually is it does have a random setting, and so you can have it play the random selection of music from your device, from your iPhone, and that is that in no way that is random. Put it that way. I haven't got that many songs on my iPhone at the moment. I've only got about 150, and every time I go into my car and I ask it to play a random selection of songs, it seems to play the same ones over and over again. And I'll be skipping through the tracks, and it's still playing the same ones as it played previously. So out of 150 tracks, it seems to select the same ones each time. So it might be random, but it's the same random each time, if that makes any sense. So audio quality, as I say, for me it's pretty good. Whether it measures up to other people with much better quality systems, I can't say. For me it works nice, and other than that annoying business of the random, I'd have to give it 9 out of 10. But that's about it really. As far as I'm concerned, it works for me. Now we look at the final one, and I'm calling this internet connection. Now this is the one that Apple seem to make a big deal about, the business of driving along and asking for a McDonald's or asking for a local coffee shop or something like that. Now does it work? Actually, I have to say it does. As long as you've got good internet connection there, it will do it, and it will do it on the go. But it really does depend on what you're looking for. And of course, you do get a lot of problems with the words that you use. If you're searching for coffee, it completely understands, it's fine, you haven't got a problem at all. The moment you start searching for a word that it doesn't quite grasp, it might be a slight pronunciation problem, maybe it's a foreign word if you like, it just hasn't got a chance really. So a lot of the time the name of companies, the name of streets, the name of services, it won't have the faintest idea what you're talking about, and you'll still end up having to pull over and type things in. So as a hands-free, it's okay, not brilliant, and it is all dependent on internet connection. So I can only give it 8 out of 10. I can't give it any more than that, because as I say, this voice recognition, it's still not perfect. It really isn't. I don't think my diction's quite that bad, but it doesn't seem to want to know me. So, but whilst I'm on the subject of internet connection, I will actually just point out to anybody out there that's thinking of having this Pioneer unit that the whole point behind the Apple Play system is it's all down to your reception. So if your phone is picking up poor reception, or isn't picking up good reception I should say really, if you haven't got a good connection, then forget it, the whole unit won't work at all. It just won't. Unless you've got a good connection, a good signal coming into your phone, nothing will work. You can forget the hands-free, you can forget playing your MP3s, it just will not work, forget about it. So that's pretty much it, I can't think of anything else to say on it. If you've got any questions that I haven't covered here, feel free to send them to me. I will give you my honest opinion, my honest review. Like I say, it's a nice little unit. I don't mind the fact that I've got it. I don't think it was really worth the money. And for something that's carrying the Apple standard, if you like, I am surprised it's not better. Normally anything that says Apple is normally excellent. Maybe this is more of a slur on Pioneer than on Apple, I don't know. But because it's Apple, I would have expected better. And so if you think you're getting Apple, no you're not. You're getting Pioneer, and Apple are letting them use their software. So do bear that in mind when you buy it. But as I say, is it for you? Well, have a look and see what you think of my review. It's as independent as I can get. I've got nothing to gain, I've got nothing to lose by the things I've said. I've just spoke honestly. So please feel free to send along your comments. You might have one of these units and you don't experience the same problems as me. You might have a lot more problems than me. There might be things I haven't covered here. Please let me know. I'm quite happy to cover any topics. But in the meantime, thanks for listening.